Good afternoon. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and NMU land acknowledgement? I want to thank the first and third graders of Graveret Elementary School, particularly led by Miss Leona Tessman, grade 1, and Miss Frances Tessman, grade 3. Excellent job, everyone. As the kiddos are leaving, let's recognize their teachers, Ashley Nicholas, Kia Goza, both from first grade, and Murray Bonk and Ann Gerard from third grade, along with Principal Kristen Peterson. Now, NMU First Lady Kristen Tessman, will you give NMU's land acknowledgement?
I would like to take a moment to acknowledge that our university is located on the ancestral homelands of the Anishinaabe Three Fires Confederacy of Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi people, and to honor the indigenous members of our community.
Thank you, Mrs. Tessman. You can be seated. Welcome, everyone, to the Forrest Roberts Theater on the campus of Northern Michigan University. I am Mike Settles, class of 1984. It is a great honor to be part of this investiture ceremony. Some of you may be wondering what exactly is an investiture ceremony. Well, we're glad you joined us to find out. An investiture service of a university president is a long-standing tradition in academia. It is defined as a formal ceremony for conferring the authority and symbols of the university's highest office. Academic investiture ceremonies originated with English universities and were modeled after highly dignified knighthood ceremonies. The word investiture comes from the Latin phrase for dress and robe. The term has come to mean one who will literally don the university's insignia and regalia. Northern's first investiture ceremony took place in 1956 for President Edgar Hardin. Later in today's ceremony, we will see the presentation of the chain of office, a tradition started during President John Jamrich's investiture ceremony. Today's ceremony is steeped in tradition, giving a nod to the past while also celebrating the start of a new presidential tenure and great leadership into the future. Before we hear from our greetings from our distinguished speakers today, I would like to acknowledge some special guests who are not on the stage to speak. These include 124 NMU student leaders who were selected by their academic deans, department heads, coaches, and supervisors to lead Dr. Tessman's procession into the theater this afternoon. Would our student leaders please stand to be recognized at this time? Thank you, students. We are so pleased to have you here today. I also have the honor of welcoming past Northern presidents and first ladies, including, and if you can stand when I mention your name, that would be great, including President Mike Roy and First Lady Joanne Roy, First Lady Phyllis Wong, President David Haynes and First Lady Martha Haynes, and President Carrie Schuling. What a pleasure it is to have you with us today also. We also want to welcome back to campus former members of NMU's Board of Trustees, including Steve Adamini, Robert Buzz Barabee, Scott Holman, Jack LaSalle, Tammy Savoy, and Carl Weber. Dr. Tessman's Executive Leadership Council, would you please stand and be recognized? At the lunch prior to today's ceremony, we introduced attending city and county officials, along with representatives of other Michigan colleges and universities, and state and federal legislators and their staff members. For the sake of time, we will not reintroduce all of those individuals, but we do want to repeat how honored we are that you have taken the time out of your busy schedules to join us today. And of course, we send a very warm Upper Peninsula welcome to President Tessman's family and friends who have traveled to Marquette to be with him for this special occasion. Welcome to Northern Michigan University. There are others who will be introduced during the program, but for now, let's just give one more round of applause to all of our distinguished guests today. Dr. Tessman, we have some special individuals who want to officially welcome you to Northern. Let's start with Gwen Feemster, a senior majoring in political science and philosophy and president of the Associated Students of NMU. Welcome, Gwen.
Good afternoon, and thank you so much for having me here. My name is Gwen. I'm the president of the student government here at Northern. And on behalf of all students, I want to warmly welcome President Tessman officially. In the past few months of being here, he has made an incredible impact on the students. We have seen his openness to change and willingness to help the students here. I have seen firsthand how he cares to know students, whether it's over hot wings, casually outside of Starbucks, or even competing in our Dead River games. It has been an honor to work directly with Dr. Tessman and have him meet with the rest of our student government here. I believe having Dr. Tessman will benefit the student experience at Northern and ensure our growth as an institution in the years to come. On behalf of students, I just want to thank him for being here. Thank you for diving headfirst as soon as you arrived, even before you had completed the move to Michigan. Thank you for taking the time to listen to multiple perspectives and for your dedication to students and to learning. We want you to know we got you. This is a sentiment I've heard President Tessman say to multiple students and families on behalf of Northern, and I think that we can sincerely reiterate that back to him. Just like you have our backs, we have yours. We are excited to see what your future at Northern Michigan holds for you and as your job as the 17th president. All of us look forward to seeing you around campus and working to make NMU the best it can be. On behalf of students, congratulations and good luck with your term.
Thank you, Gwen. Here at Northern, we are incredibly proud of the quality of our academic programs and world-class faculty. On the stage today from Academic Affairs is Interim Provost Dale Kapla, Dean of the College of Business, Carol Johnson, and Dean of Health and Sciences and Professional Studies, Joe Lubig. Northern's faculty play an absolutely vital role in the student experience. At this time, I would like all faculty members in the audience to stand and be recognized. Representing the provost, academic deans, and department heads, and the Northern faculty, please welcome Dr. Jessica Thompson, NMU class of 2001, and recipient of the 2023 Stephen Young and Tricia Kinley Distinguished Faculty Award.
Good afternoon, outstanding students, distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, good friends, trustees, and a super warm welcome to President and First Lady Tessman and your lovely family. It is a great, tremendous honor to be the person that gets to stand here and welcome you to NMU. I didn't take this task lightly. I spent a lot of time having several conversations with colleagues across campus, and 3 must-say today themes emerged. The first, and I quote, "To remember a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language." That's Dale Carnegie, not me. But President Tessman showed up, and overnight, he knew our names. I've never felt so seen and heard. It was an instant community builder. And I don't know whether it's like a sophisticated party trick or like an innate superpower, but it's equally magical, however he does it, magical. Second, we are really impressed with President Tessman's expand the frame perspective. He's able to look at some of our old, tangled, knotted, gnarly problems as if it's a puzzle or a strategy game. And I will say he has already made moves that are going to make a meaningful difference on this campus for years to come. And third, and finally, we're looking forward to having your girls in our classes. They seem super smart and really energetic, but as parents who have the privilege of raising children on the shores of mighty Lake Superior, we know several of us had made this place our home, and we welcome you into our community of working Wildcat parents. Everyone I talked to said, "Man, it's a great time to be at NMU." I couldn't agree more. There are wonderful things happening, and I wholeheartedly believe that it is because President Brock Tessman is here. On behalf of all of the faculty at NMU, we are grateful you are here, and we are looking forward to the years ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. Joining our outstanding faculty at Northern is a staff that is known for consistently going above and beyond expectations. Would all NMU staff members please stand and be recognized? Representing the staff of Northern Michigan University is Executive Director of Admissions, Jerry Daniels, NMU class of '83, who is now in her 37th year at the university. Welcome, Jerry.
Thanks, Mike, and hi, everybody. It's great to be here, and it's my pleasure to offer remarks on behalf of the NMU staff employees here at this great campus. This is indeed my 37th fall semester in admissions at NMU. It's so hard to believe, but when you've been around for a while, you notice stuff. You get to see the university grow and face challenges and flourish and serve and innovate. You get to see what makes this place tick and what makes this place special. You know, the university is its people, certainly the students and faculty, and most certainly the staff across all departments at campus, often working behind the scenes to make the magic happen. Like Jess, maybe we had the same homework assignment. I talked to staff across several departments and employee groups around campus, and I asked them, what about NMU is special to you that you would want President Tessman to notice and appreciate. Their answers ranged from funny to philosophical to practical, but I noticed 5 themes. Number 1, the encouragement to be student-focused gives purpose to our work. Number 2, even little communications and follow-throughs can make a big difference in a college student's life and in ours too. Number 3, our size allows us to collaborate and accomplish great things. Please give us the space and encouragement to do so. Number 4, we look forward to your leadership on the path to innovating while retaining and enhancing NMU's special qualities. And number 5, we are here to support you. As one staff member said, quote, "Our new president should know that we believe in NMU and that we believe in his ability to lead us," end quote. Last week, there was a regular meeting for staff employees with supervisory roles from all across campus. About 80 of us met via Zoom to receive updates on various things. And President Tessman, you were there to offer some thoughts at the beginning. You used some phrases that really resonated with me. You said, "We all touch our success," and "our puzzle pieces fit together." And then you used the word magical. Thank you for that. On behalf of the 655 NMU staff employees, President Tessman, to you and your family, welcome to Northern Michigan University.
Thank you, Jerry. Like Jerry, Jess, Gwen, and me, Chris Charbonneau once walked the northern hallways as a student. Please welcome to the podium newly appointed president of the NMU Alumni Advisory Board, Mr. Chris Charbonneau, class of 1993.
Thank you. It's truly an honor to be here today. I would ask you all to think back to the very first time that you were on Northern's campus. I'm sure it is a vivid memory for each of you. For me, it was the summer of 1982, after I completed the 7th grade in my hometown of Sheboygan, Michigan, not Wisconsin. How about those Lions last night? My parents brought me to attend a week-long summer band camp here on campus that I would attend for the next 4 summers. Because of those 4 amazing weeks at that camp, I started my music education degree here in the fall of 1987. I think everyone who attends Northern would tell you that it was a life-changing experience for them. It certainly was for me. Each of us has our own story of how and why we came to Northern, and now, Dr. Tessman, you have your story to tell. I had the privilege of meeting Dr. Tessman 2 weeks ago at homecoming. I could not have been more impressed with him during our first 10-minute conversation. He wanted to know what he and the university could do for our alumni, while I in turn asked him what alumni could do for NMU. In that brief conversation, I was convinced that he would support the initiatives of our Alumni Advisory Board that we'd be working on over the next year and beyond. The next morning, Dr. Tessman made a surprise appearance at our Alumni Advisory Board meeting. We had, of course, invited him to come and speak, but knew he had a busy schedule all weekend. He came into our meeting just as we had finished discussing his pillars of success for the university. He talked about some of the highlights of his vision and then took a few questions from our board. Like me the night before, everyone on our board was impressed and, equally importantly, genuinely excited. Dr. Tessman, we can't wait to see your vision and plan to move NMU forward come to fruition. I am honored and excited to work with you whenever your time allows over the next 2 years of my presidency. On behalf of my colleagues on the NMU Alumni Advisory Board and the more than 73,000 NMU alumni across the globe, welcome to Northern, to Marquette, and to the Wildcat Nation. We are grateful to have someone with your character, passion, and experience as our president. Let's go Cats! Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. The NMU Foundation is instrumental in supporting Northern students, faculty and staff, and programs. The foundation and its board work to generate resources that will benefit the university's strategic goals. Representing the NMU Foundation, please welcome Foundation board member and alumnus from the class of 1983, Mr. Mark Peininen.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here today to represent the NMU Foundation, and we offer our greetings to Dr. Tessman and to his family who is able to be here today. The foundation exists to advance the long-term interests of the university. Our mission statement is that we will establish and foster relationships to generate resources that benefit the strategic goals of Northern Michigan University. A large part of that is fundraising and financial, but we are also involved in contacts with government, education, and the public to advance the university's interests and goals. The board's made up entirely of volunteers, most of whom are alumni, and much like our overall alumni base, most of them are from the Midwest, although there are throughout the country, but a higher concentration from Michigan and locally. Each of us on the foundation board has our own story and reasons for serving on the board, but the common theme that runs through them is our experiences here as students. There was that one professor or coach or group leader that had a huge impact on us, and that's what made us feel that NMU is special and so important. As faculty and staff, you have the ability to have that impact on students today. We want to make those things, those special things happen. Whether it's through our scholarships, programs, facilities, or something else, the foundation wants to work with you to create the conditions where we can maximize the opportunities for those special things to happen. Foundation is proud of our accomplishments, but we also see the opportunity to do much more. We look forward to working with President Tessman and his leadership and advancing the community and the campus environment to improve the experiences of faculty, staff, and ultimately for students. We want to help you make those special things happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peininen. Our next speaker is someone who has known President Tessman for a lot longer than any of us on this campus. Mr. Chad Peltier has traveled all the way from Atlanta, where he serves as the lead data scientist for the U.S. technology team at Janes, a global agency for open source defense intelligence. There, he designs, develops, and deploys machine learning and data engineering solutions. Mr. Peltier first met President Tessman more than 15 years ago at the University of Georgia, where he was a first-year student, and President Tessman was a second-year faculty member in the School of Public and International Affairs. Mr. Peltier and Dr. Tessman spent the better part of 4 years working together in the classroom on various research projects and as co-founders of the Georgia Grand Strategy Group. They've traveled a long way in their careers since then, but both believe that the strong mentoring relationship, research collaboration, and friendship that they developed during that time was instrumental in shaping their growth as professionals and human beings. Please welcome special guest of President Tessman, Mr. Chad Peltier.
Hi, everyone. Like what was just said, I met Brock 15 years ago when I was just a freshman at the University of Georgia. At the time, the university had a program where students could connect with a faculty member for a kind of mentoring relationship with the students. And I remembered reading the bios of the professors that we could choose from in those first couple weeks. And in the kind of baseball cards of bios of all the professors, most of them talked about their resumes and their research. Those were the things that they concentrated the most on. But one also mentioned that he loved board games. And I've heard a lot of people talking about Dr. Tessman, about Brock, mentioned his love of board games, and I was no different in that respect. He stood out to me because he seemed like a three-dimensional person, more than just a bullet point list of research interests and resume items. Looking back, I think that I saw my early understanding of what a mentor is essentially just a professor that you can spam with permission for all of your questions that you might have as a first-year student. I reread some of that spam that I sent to Brock recently, and if you'd like to see some real cringe, please find me after the Investiture. I'll be happy to embarrass myself and show those to you. But despite what must have been a truly annoying amount of emails, Brock met with me, patiently answered all my questions, connected me with other students and professors who shared my interests. And my experience was not uncommon. When Brock had office hours, students would line up throughout the entire floor of our hall, and he made those office hours a priority, even though there are numerous other demands on an assistant professor's time. He prioritized the classroom experience, the actual teaching that professors do, when the incentives of a professor at a large research university are often more aligned with publishing. His gifts as a teacher, both in lecturing and in facilitating discussions within seminar classes, meant that students also lined up to speak with him before and after class. Brock is also gifted in fostering communities of shared interests. Early in my college career, he connected a group of students who had all separately reached out to him and suggested that we form a group called the Georgia Grand Strategy. And several other members of that group are here today, which I think just really speaks to the impact that he had on us and in our lives at such a kind of pivotal point. Like many college freshmen, I came in interested in a number of seemingly random things that I was interested in majoring in, but Brock helped me figure out how my interests in international relations and statistics could not only translate into a major, but also into a career within the national security community that I love and feel a lot of purpose for. Brock invested in me every step of the way, helping me find and apply for and decide between everything from scholarships, internships, and graduate programs to just what book to read next. Brock guided me academically and professionally, but it was more than that. I felt like he cared about my well-being as a person. When I missed out on a job after grad school, he was honestly more upset about it than I was for myself, and I was the one who needed cash at the time. He invested in me as a person, nurtured my interests, and ultimately became a friend. If I could leave you with just one point, it would just be that my experience was not uncommon. There are countless other students who would tell you stories like mine, that Brock fostered an environment where so many of us could thrive, work toward our goals, and support each other along the way. We all deserve care and community like that for the students, the staff, the faculty, and the neighbors outside of the university. That's why I am thrilled that NMU and Brock found each other, and I'm so excited to see how this community grows and thrives together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peltier, for your comments, and welcome to the Upper Peninsula. Now, we're going to take a bit of a break for a special musical treat for Dr. Tessman. Please welcome Dr. Kolowitz and members of the NMU Arts Chorale. have been up here sweating on the stage, but that gave me chills. That was beautiful. Thank you to the NMU Arts Chorale. The remaining individuals on stage today are members of the NMU Board of Trustees. And if I could ask them to stand as I introduce you, I would appreciate it. Let me introduce Chair Steve Young, Trustees Lisa Fitanti, Steve Lindberg, Missy Holmquist, and Greg Toutant. Trustees Alexis Hart, Bridget LaPointe Dunham, and Greg Sepinen were unable to be with us today. Now, Chair Young, will you please say a few words before the chain of office presentation?
Thank you, Mike. Wow, what a great day to be a Wildcat. Like Mike, I want to give a special welcome on behalf of the NMU Board of Trustees to the Tessman's family and friends who have traveled to be here today on this very special occasion. I know that this will not come as a surprise to Dr. Tessman's family and friends, but for those of us who are just getting to know Brock, this is a man of vision. His vision is one of the leading qualities the board and the NMU community realized about him during the presidential search. It made him stand out among the many other candidates. And that says something, because when we began the selection process, we had more than 50 well-qualified candidates for this position from across the country. The presidential search process was rigorous, to say the least. We all owe a huge thank you to the 21 presidential search committee members who started that process on January 17th of 2022 and closed it with the announcement of Brock Tessman as our president 7 months later. Now, during that time, the committee reviewed, as I said, 50-plus resumes, whittled that down to 11 candidates, and then to some more interviews, we whittled it down for the on-campus interviews with the final 4. So let me pause for just one moment again to thank, on behalf of the board, the Presidential Search Committee, chaired by Associate Vice President and Dean of Students, Chris Greer, for their excellent work. Thank you. And I have to point out, when we got to that final 4, I'm going to digress here for a minute from the script, and I may get in trouble with the powers that be. I apologize if I do get in trouble. But when we did those final interviews, Brock came in and was the 8 board members sitting there, preponderance of board members, Green Bay Packer fans. So Brock comes in, sits down, and says, I'm a dyed-in-the-wool Detroit Lions fan, unabashedly. And a trustee who will remain anonymous, who is sitting up here on the stage, is a huge Green Bay Packers fan, leaned over to me and said, do you think he realizes that's not a plus with us? But obviously he recovered in that interview process and did a heck of a job. And it was Dr. Tessman's ability to inspire and his compassion that convinced the Board of Trustees that he was the right leader for this university. He was the leader we wanted. It didn't take long for the rest of the campus to realize his energy, his intelligence, his creativity. He was announced as the president on September 26 of 22, with an official start date of February 1 of 2023. But he didn't wait until February to get started. Oh no, Brock doesn't wait. I think by October 1, as was pointed out at the luncheon, about 5 days after he was announced, he had already met with about a quarter of the campus community, either through Zoom or in person. He was off and running. And even though he wouldn't officially take on the presidential duties for 4 months, he hit the ground running. Now, just 8 months later, Northern is already beginning to realize the results of his early efforts. With the support of an outstanding leadership team and with the talents of the university's faculty and staff, which he has declared and described as world-class, progress is being made. Under Brock's leadership, I know, and the board knows, we can anticipate a vibrant, innovative, and inclusive journey for Northern into the future. In Brock, we see a leader who is thoughtful and considerate, but clearly unafraid of taking risks. He is a leader by example. For what members of the campus community have told me, and for what I have witnessed personally so far, he demonstrates passion and excitement. And as it was also pointed out, he is tremendous at remembering people's names. It's a talent that I think one we've all recognized and appreciate. But above all, he's a Wildcat, and he's our Wildcat, and he bleeds green and white. The board sees in Brock someone who will protect all that has made Northern special. Yet he won't hesitate to push for transformational change in the future. He is the leader we need. Like you, we're excited to see what comes next, and we stand ready to assist in any way possible, and we hope you'll do the same. Dr. Tessman, this investiture ceremony is one demonstration of the board's unwavering faith in your leadership and our readiness to support your vision of the future for Northern Michigan University. At this time, I would ask Dr. Deidre Tessman, Brock's mother, to please make her way to the stage. And Dr. Brock Tessman, if you would come up to the podium, please. Yep. Northern's chain of office is a symbol of the presidency. It is worn with academic attire on formal university occasions, such as commencement, and is passed on to each succeeding president of the university. For those of you that haven't seen it, the chain displays the official NMU seal encircled with 2 laurel branches and 17 engraved banners listing each president and their years of office are linked to that medallion. Thank you, everyone. President Brock Tessman, on behalf of the Northern Michigan University Board of Trustees, NMU students, faculty, staff, alumni, and friends, today I invest you with this chain of office as our 17th president. It is a symbol to remind you of Northern's strong history and to inspire you as you lead our university into the future. Congratulations.
All right. This chain is heavy. Thank you, Chair Young. Thanks to Mike Settles for emceeing this event, everyone that I'm sharing the stage with today. Before I move on, I also want to note that this event is a complex event. There's so many moving pieces, and from the flowers, from our talented music students and staff and faculty, all of the logistics that went into making today possible, from AV to processionals, all of it takes so much work. And I want to recognize all of those who are involved in making today such a great success. Let's give them a round of applause. And it's a big moment, and I'm rarely at a loss for words, but I don't know what to say, but I think I'm going to go ahead and say a few things now, if you don't mind. I do want to thank the folks who preceded me at the podium, from Mark and Chris and Jerry, of course, Steve Young, Jess, Gwen, thank you so much. And certainly, again, Chair Young, thank you for those introductions. I also want to say thank you to Chad. Chad, I've had a lot of mentoring experiences over the years, and it's been a long time since you and I have had a chance to spend a lot of time together. But those evenings at coffee shops, the book discussions, the wrangling of ideas, the wringing of hands that you and I had, that Ashley and Amanda and Chris and Jenna, Dana Higgins, who's also here today, it was such an instrumental part of my professional and personal development, and I would not be standing here today if it were not for you all. So thank you, Chad, for being here. It means a lot to have you introduce me. I'm tempted to jump into some more thanks, but my wife works in journalism. We have talented journalism faculty here on campus. Some of my team has a journalism background, and one of the big lessons is to not bury the lead, and so I'm not going to bury the lead. Let's talk about the 100-plus kids that were standing on this stage a few minutes ago. Let's talk about the 124 current NMU student leaders that are sitting in the front rows. That's one for every year that this university has been in existence. And let's talk about the countless number of NMU alumni, our former students who are here today, and the 73,000 plus alumni we have around the world. I want to be very clear, and I'll say it time and time again. This university always has been, it is today, and it always will be about our students. The first and third graders who stood before you, they'll inherit a world that's more complex, more daunting, I think heavier than it's ever been. But they can look to our current students, and they can see in front of them the opportunity that they have, no matter what their background, to lead the kind of change that they believe in. The kind of change that just might lighten the load for the generation that follows. Our current students, all of you in the front rows, thank you for being here, by the way. You can't help but be inspired by our alumni. Women and men who now live around the UP, around the state, around the country, around the world, crafting change and reshaping the world in every field, in every far-flung place. Yes, Northern Michigan University employs many staff and faculty, and yes, many administrators, but our heartbeat is our student body. And as one generation leaves the graduation stage and another generation rolls into the first day of class, our job as an institution is not to simply hand the baton of change from one generation to the next, but is to be a partner in their race, inside the classroom and out, from the moment they first choose Northern until well after their graduation. And now, some thanks. All of those present, NMU students, faculty, our leadership team, I'm thankful to be here for you. Our staff is world-class. Our faculty are world-class. My executive council is such a fantastic source of guidance, such a fantastic source of insight, and they are world-class. Chair Young and the rest of the board here, I couldn't feel more supported by you and our leadership team. Thanks to our community, regional, and state leaders, we share a common mission of service to the greater good. It's a privilege to join you in the important work that awaits us on that mission over the coming years. And I'd like to say thank you to a number of people who can't be here today. Lifelong friends like Laura Kavanaugh, my running brethren at Brown University and the University of Colorado, my former colleagues in Montana at the University of Montana in beautiful Missoula, at the Office of the Commissioner of Higher Education in Helena, and I'd like to give a special thanks to Commissioner Clayton Christian. He taught me many things, but Clay, you certainly taught me above all the importance of staying calm and collected when things just get a little bit hectic. And thank you to my mentors, my Grandpa John, who stoked in me my love for maps, both literal and of the imagination, George McClellan, my high school social studies teacher, who gave me what I consider to still be one of the greatest compliments. He wrote in my senior year high school yearbook, "Brock, you have what it takes to be a history teacher." I want to thank my coach, John Gregoric, and he found a way to keep me healthy enough to run a fast race and win a race here and there. To Steve Chan, who couldn't be here today, but my PhD advisor, who agreed to take me on as a student, but only if I promised to take my dissertation as seriously as I took my running. To Han Park, who taught me new approaches to diplomacy through his work as one of the most outstanding peacemakers of our time. To University of Georgia President Jerry Moorhead, who found a way every month or so to share a lunch with a lowly assistant professor while he was, oh yes, running one of the largest flagship universities in the entire country. And to the late Sheila Stearns, who taught me about grace through her philosophy of 4 seasons of leadership. To Janice Fitzgerald and Jim McCormick, who've been so generous with their time and insights over the years, and who've done much to shape this generation of higher education leaders. And thanks to my very best friends. Stephen Lester is here, no doubt causing trouble somewhere in the back rows. Steve, thanks for being here. David Leibowitz, who can't be here. But Dave and Steve, we went from Alaska to Edge Hill, vehicle acquisitions during Dave's goth phase, time spent at around midnight, Rocky Mountain acquisitions, and we know we're in it till the end. To Mike and Christy Roberts, a big thank you, of course, for bringing your lovely daughter Kristen into the world, and also for proving day in and day out that I struck gold in the in-law lottery. Thank you to my sister Brooke for showing me the light early, being the most gracious and positive person whom I've ever known, being full of sisu without even knowing it, and for being there to set me right time and time again. Brookie, you are who you are, and it makes us all so very glad. And thank you to my mother, the Dr. Tessman, the original Dr. Tessman, who showed me as a kid what it meant to work hard and how to spell words like erudite. I think I was about 5 or something when you forced that one on me, Mom. E-R-U-D-I-T-E, I'll never forget it. I was sitting in the back seat. I can see her looking back at me right now. But no, I mean, in my days as a kid, you showed me what it meant to work hard in balancing being such a loving mother, but also someone who is succeeding at work, earning an MBA at night through the University of Michigan, eventually getting your PhD, and then later on showing me, and I think the world, what it meant to shatter glass ceilings. You're one of the leading female executives in the world of biotechnology and pharmaceuticals, and it's such an inspiration. I wouldn't be here without you, Mom. The biggest thank you, of course, to my talented and wise wife, Kristen, who sacrificed so much to be here in this moment and continues to show me what it means to actually multitask, and whom I consider to be my very best thought partner. You're my biggest champion. You also happen to be my biggest challenger. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love our adventuring, and we're on this adventure together, and we always will be. And most important, I'm so thankful to you because you and I have these wonderful girls, Frances and Leona. They're our best teachers, our biggest inspiration, and our biggest reminder about what's most important in life. And you know, I'm not an overly emotional guy. I don't get choked up easily, but Frances and Leona, they do that to me from time to time. And it's because, look, the way that they run across the grass, the way they smile sometimes, the way they crack a joke, it reminds me of my dad. And my dad passed away 10 years ago. He can't be here today, but I certainly want to give him a big thank you as well. I should also let you know, Frances and Leona make me choke up for another reason, and it's from time to time I'm reminded if there was some kind of medical test somewhere where they could diagnose this kind of thing, I think that they are 49.9% demon children. And they have, Kristen, they left right the room. They're not in here. I can say that. Okay. Anyhow. Okay. So, I think you know what if you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So the question, what do you do with this moment? And you take a drink and you think about what's appropriate to celebrate this next chapter for Northern Michigan University. And I do well in this moment to look back on the evolution of our campus, And that'd be apt because next year is, in fact, as many of you know, our 125th anniversary. We could reflect on our proud origins as a normal school, charged with preparing educators to teach young people across Upper Michigan. It's a legacy we continue today, and we also, as many of you know, train so many graduates in what I consider to be the hero professions. Not only educators, law enforcement professionals, community leaders, social workers, entrepreneurs, and as we saw earlier today, those in nursing and the allied health professions. It'd be appropriate to note President Edgar Hardin's post-war emphasis on something that I also hold dear, our open access, right to try mission. It was rooted in President Hardin's belief that, quote, higher education should be accessible to all who have the sufficient mental, physical, moral competence to profit from an opportunity to attend college. He couldn't have said it any better. And of course, I could bring us back to 1975, to 1991, to 1993, and 1994 back to back. And I could think about the excellence of Wildcat athletics, the glory of our student athletes victorious on the national stage. And speaking of stages and venues, we just came from Hedgecock Fieldhouse. I wish I could go back and cheer on the Cats in that fantastic facility, scream my head off for the 1979-1980 basketball teams, and maybe scream my head off a little bit for Bob Seger or Eddie Money as well. That would have been fantastic. And no celebration of NMU would be complete without heralding our alumni. And many of them are in this room. Many of you know the names of our most acclaimed, famous alumni. I think most important is the collective spirit, strength, and inspiration provided by those 73,000 alumni around the world. I just experienced my first homecoming, and amidst all the festivities, all of the fun of that event, the most lasting impression was the realization that so many of our students at NMU, they come to love this place so much while they're here that they come back. And they come back for so many reasons, but it is, of course, mostly their relationships with their professors. Those folks on this campus who inspire them to achieve wonderful things, both big and small, professional and personal. And that love is what brings many of our alumni back to campus, to reconnect with each other, this campus, this community, and the next generation of NMU graduates. Yes, in this moment, on this stage, there's no end to what I could share about our proud history. And what about the present, today? I think if you've heard me speak, if you've been around recently, you know that I'm fond of saying that Northern Michigan University is a university on the rise. And if you haven't, let me know because it's Derek Hall's fault. I don't know if he's in the room, so I don't. We're a university on the rise. There are so many exciting things happening right now on this campus. We've redesigned our entire administrative structure to support and elevate the people who work and study here. Our students through new leadership pillars, one dedicated to degree completion and career development, another to providing an exceptional experience to all of our students, whether they live in our residence halls or whether they're commuting to campus from Gwynn or Scandia or Harvey. In a third pillar, dedicated to supporting the development and well-being not only of our students, but also to our staff and faculty who are there to help our students realize their dreams. We are one of the first universities in the entire country to sign on to the Okanagan Charter, a global compact among institutions of higher education. It commits us to promoting well-being, mental health, physical health, healthy campus culture, a healthy environment in everything we do, from our academics to our daily operations to our engagement with our local and global communities. NMU was the 17th campus in the country, one of the first in Michigan, to sign on to the Okanagan Charter, and we will push, and we will push, and we will be second to none when it comes to implementing the spirit of that charter. Indeed, NMU is on the rise in so many ways. Faculty excellence in and out of the classroom, distinctive academic and workforce programs, positive enrollment growth, a growing partnership with a vibrant community in one of the most beautiful natural settings in the world. And there's even more to look forward to over the next year. We'll head into the public launch of our next major fundraising campaign, and we will formally celebrate that 125th anniversary as what is, in my informed opinion, the flagship university of Upper Michigan. I suppose in my contemplations about how I might have had the opportunity to spend this important moment, I have come pretty close to spending it. I do want to wrap up with some additional comments. And I'm going to exercise my formal presidential privilege And I'm going to wind up, as I often do, not looking to the past, not just thinking about the present, but considering a bit about the future in this university's next chapter. And this university, of course, will exist and thrive well beyond my time here as a steward. I want to talk about something pretty important as NMU traverses the long arc of history. I want to talk about artificial intelligence. And I don't bring this subject up because I have some grand reveal about how the speech was actually written by ChatGPT. Seen that one. And in spite of the fact that we have some globally prominent faculty and staff like Tony Allman and Scott Smith figuring out how to incorporate AI most effectively into our classrooms and operations, I don't really want to talk about that either. I want to talk about how Northern Michigan University and everything that makes us who we are will become even more important to our students, our employees, and our communities as we skyrocket into a world characterized by artificial intelligence and the qualities it embodies. And let me be clear, I don't want to downplay the power and potential of generative AI. I mean, if you open ChatGPT and you ask it to write a new fight song for the Detroit Lions, it's pretty spot on. Here's just one verse. It says, "From Stafford to Goff, we pass the torch, in the Motor City we'll always march. With legends past and legends to be, Detroit Lions, forever we'll see." Now, listen, it's got it because it even has that cynical "we'll see." I mean, we'll see if we'll ever win a playoff game. I don't know. But to be serious, we know AI, it's not only an incredible and ever-growing repository of quick knowledge and analysis, but these days we hear it's testing in the top 1% of standardized exams around creativity, things that we always thought were sort of uniquely human. But no matter what opportunity AI presents to us as humans, it is not human. In order for us to prosper, we need, as a society, to amplify our attention to our uniquely human qualities and use those qualities to proactively engage the opportunities of the modern AI world, while also ensuring our future against some of the challenges that will come along with this transformation. In Northern Michigan University, this institution and all of us as the people who define it are ready to lead in what is coming next. Our DNA as a university is defined by some of the uniquely human qualities that artificial intelligence will have a very hard time colonizing. We're a university that develops a sense of belonging, provides an opportunity to earn trust, and never underestimates the importance of respect, love, and emotional connection that comes along with human relationships. Our human connections are a territory where artificial intelligence cannot trend. A downward glance, a change of voice, or a scream of joy means something more to us here. Because we are here, being human together. We can sense each other's well-being and take care of each other because we know each other in mind, but also in heart. In data point observations like a missed class that shows up on a spreadsheet in our student success office, but also because a student comes into an advising an appointment, and that human being, that advisor across the desk, notices something as subtle as a lack of spark in the eye or a lack of spring in the step. We are a university with a deep sense of context and appreciation for the unique aspects of our place, its history, its geography, its lore. You can walk along the wooded trail next to the dead river, and you can look at the tobacco-colored water running down the stream, and you can understand, in a way that artificial intelligence cannot, the intersection of our geology, botany, our history, our culture, and you can gain an appreciation as a human being for the subtle elements that make our place what it is. That, in turn, can inform at the deepest level of sophistication what the right decision may be in that given moment, personally, for the university, or for our world. And we are a university that understands clearly our value as human beings will be increasingly defined not by our ability to provide the right answer, but by our ability to craft the right question. Our brains are no longer the most efficient way to collect, manage, or analyze data. AI already outpaces us on that front, and the gap will only grow. But AI's efficiency is also its downfall. In spite of the notion of AI as generative, it is actually derivative. Each ChatGPT essay that it writes, or Lions fight song that it crafts, is culled blindly from the raw material of the accessible web. As more and more content is generated by AI engines, more and more of what AI leans on will, in itself be a result of content that has been generated by AI. And that cycle repeats until the bulk of our content, the bulk of the answers, analysis, and even creative content that we see will be derivative from earlier AI output. In the end, we are left with a funnel of knowledge, efficient but decidedly lacking in diversity. In Northern Michigan University, we'll do and can do exactly what AI cannot. We can ask new questions and bold questions, and we can keep the doors of new inquiry wide open. We can prize curiosity and elevate the outlier perspectives that are the keys to meaningful discovery. How? We can embrace diverse life experiences, perspectives, and the identities of each and every one of our students and employees. By looking back 7 generations and forward 7 generations to consider ideas that are so old or so undiscovered that they aren't found on our self-centered radars. We must maintain our open access model and push it to new heights, welcoming new talent and potential, new ideas, new questions from every corner of the UP and Michigan, from traditional and non-traditional populations, from diverse political orientations and economic backgrounds. And once we bring students here to this campus that will prize diversity in all its forms, we must inspire them and challenge them with an unwavering commitment to academic freedom. This may require us to be brave in tolerating and meaningfully engaging ideas inside and outside the classroom that challenge our preconceptions. This may require us to argue points that make us uncomfortable. But because the diversity of our people and the diversity of our ideas are the bedrock of our uniquely human ability to ask the right questions, we will, at all costs, defend those principles as red lines that cannot be crossed, no matter the strength or the source of the pressure. And how can I, as an adopted Uper, and as a former distance runner with an admiration of my Finn predecessors, come to appreciate the importance of grit and determination in the face of adversity, and not mention Northern's role in highlighting the very unique human quality of Sisu? Since I am a newcomer to the UP, and I'm sure that my take on Sisu will be subjected to some well-deserved scrutiny, I will say that I'm just going to focus on one aspect of Sisu, and that's an aspect that Northern embodies quite well: the action mindset, a consistent, courageous approach toward challenges that at first seem to exceed our capabilities. And Sisu is the story of so many of our students, our staff, our faculty, and our community members. One of the most striking personalities I've encountered since my arrival here is the late Mary Beckela Wright. Now, I won't address the full scope of what I know is a very complex story with Mary, but I will say that she knew what it took to work and strategize and persist her way to success, no matter the magnitude of the community project that she had in mind. And I think Mary's story is the story of so many of our students. Perhaps they're well into their professional lives. They attended college once, maybe Northern in fact, and it didn't work out. But now they have a family. They're rooted in their community and in a field of work. But they decide they're going to go back and tackle the challenge of returning to NMU and completing their degree because of the new doors that it will open for them. Or perhaps it's simply because they want to finish what they started. And they do it. Some do it alone, but some do it with family and friends by their side, or with direct help from our advisors, from their professors, from their peers. Many of our students don't know the clear path to their future, to their degree, or exactly how they're going to get there. But our students know how to handle everything that comes their way. They're courageous. They dig deep, and they tackle step by step, class by class, the challenge that they thought may exceed their capabilities. Our students embody Sisu, our employees embody Sisu, our community embodies Sisu, and it is something pure, and it is something human, and it is something that AI has no idea about. In his foreword to Miriam Hilton's History of NMU, our 8th president, John X. Jamrich, expresses it best. The thread that wove the tapestry that has become Northern Michigan University is its people. People within and outside of the university, sacrificing, planning, working with one another, sharing in the joys, the sorrows, the good times, and the bad. Jamrich is right. Our people make us who we are today. And as we move forward, it is our people, our students, our wonderful staff and faculty, the people of the communities that we serve, and our uniquely human qualities that will define our opportunity horizon. It will allow us to continue building this university as one of the people, by the people, and for our future. I'm now at the end of this remarkable moment, and what a wonderful moment it's been for me. It is such a great time to be a Wildcat. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Tessman, for your vision and really, really inspiring words. On behalf of the students, faculty, staff, and alumni of Northern Michigan University, we are so pleased to officially welcome you, Kristen, Francis, and Leona, to the NMU family and Upper Peninsula community. We look forward to working with you to continue to move our university forward in impactful and exciting ways. Again, congratulations on this milestone moment for you and your family. That is the conclusion of this investiture ceremony. On behalf of President Brock and First Lady Kristen Tessman, you are all invited to a reception beginning now in the grand ballrooms of the Northern Center. We hope you will join us there. I want to thank you for your presence today, your enthusiasm, and your support of this great university. Now, let's go party. Thank you, everyone.